In nature, if you don't occupy the top of the food chain, there's always a great possibility of being devoured. To survive, anything goes: hiding, camouflaging, running, or using any other skill you have to try to stay alive. Crocodiles, for example, are top predators. Fierce hunters who fear nothing, especially when they're in the water. Other animals, aware of the danger they face, think twice before attacking or even getting close to this fearsome creature. But in the wild, unpredictable situations are not so uncommon. And even these super predators can lose their lives if their strike is at the wrong time or the wrong prey. And that's what you're going to see today on Wild Wonder. When an alligator is surprised by its own prey. A creature that possesses a shocking and effective defense mechanism is the electric eel. It is capable of spontaneously generating a high voltage that can seriously injure or even kill an individual. So, what do you think happens when a cruel predator like an alligator tries to bite an electric eel? Undoubtedly, it will receive the shock of its life. Imagine the pain of feeling approximately 860 volts coursing through your body. To find out how electric eels deliver this powerful shock, what so much electricity can do to a human being, and whether the alligator managed to survive this situation, you'll have to stick around until the end. I guarantee you'll be surprised. Electric eel, Electrophorus electricus. Despite the resemblance and commonly being referred to as eels and often mistaken for aquatic snakes, the famous and dangerous electric eels are actually fish known in Brazil as piraque, which in the Tupi language means the one that makes you sleep or the one that numbs. And this name refers to its peculiar and globally renowned ability. This species is typical in the freshwater of the Amazon basin but can be found throughout South America, usually inhabiting muddy bottoms of rivers, streams, lakes, and swamps. These electric fish can exceed 2 meters in length and weigh around 20 kilograms. They have 3 pairs of abdominal organs symmetrically located along both sides of their body. These organs are developed from muscle and possess various biochemical properties, producing electricity capable of generating 2 types of discharges: low voltage and high voltage. In high voltage, this powerful discharge can even exceed 860 volts. To better understand, we can say that the source of energy for electric eels comes from a set of cells similar to the battery we are familiar with in our daily lives, called electrocytes. These cells, which occupy about 80% of the elongated bodies of the eels, act as a source of protection or attack. Human attacks, what can they cause? Have you ever been shocked by an outlet or perhaps an electric fence? According to biologist and researcher Ken Catania from Vanderbilt University in the United States, the sensation of touching an electric eel is comparable to the latter. To prove this theory, the scientist conducted tests with his own arm, immersing it in a tank of water where the fish was, thus suffering repeated attacks. It was a task that required a lot of courage and nerves of steel. So, would you have the courage to risk receiving a massive shock in the name of science? Tell us what you think. Catania has been studying and conducting evaluations with this species for some time. In one of his published studies, he details how electric eels can also attack outside the water, and this ability even enhances their electrical power. In humans, they can cause intense pain, bruises, and even a heart attack. It is believed that, depending on the circumstances, they can indeed kill a person, but it is not common since they usually only stun their prey. However, they are naturally aggressive, and even if they don't feel threatened, they can easily attack. Recently, It was discovered that the species can hunt in large groups, and when they move among the branches and roots of trees in the water, they go unnoticed. Therefore, if a human were to encounter a group of them and they all released an electric charge at the same time, it could be fatal. Alligator versus electric eel. Electric eels are capable of temporarily stunning their victims in less than 3 milliseconds. In the case of their prey, this immobilization allows them to swallow their meal whole. Of course, large animals like alligators are not part of their menu. The opposite, however, is a different story. Alligators are not very picky about their prey, and their diet consists of various animals such as deer, capybaras, anacondas, and many fish. But as we've mentioned before, wildlife is unpredictable, and even super predators can be caught off guard. And this surprise can end very badly. A video that circulated on social media shocked many, especially the man who recorded it and witnessed the entire situation. It showed an alligator that, while trying to attack an electric eel, ended up in a very bad situation. In the footage, you can see the reptile waiting for the right moment to strike. Little does it know that in this case, the ideal moment didn't exist. As soon as it bites the electric fish, the alligator immediately starts convulsing violently. Normally, animals that experience this shock from electric eels, with the fright and pain, release the animal and move away. But that wasn't the case with this poor alligator. We can't tell if it persisted, thinking it could endure the pain and eventually make the eel its meal, or if the electrical power was so strong that it became unable to let go. After convulsing and trembling in pain for some time, the alligator met its demise. In the recorded situation, the alligator wasn't as big as many others that live in the Amazon regions, and probably a larger specimen, despite the intense pain, could endure and finish its snack. But that doesn't diminish the power and damage these fish can cause. So, for those who consider themselves brave and daring enough to test their luck by touching a parak, know that it won't end well. So, what did you think of the video? Leave your comments below. Oh, and also let us know what curiosities you would like to see here. Who knows, we might choose your topic for our next video.